All right, hey everybody. So I wanted to go over kind of the proper technique when it comes to both applying and releasing the Maxi break. We've been hearing this, people are having some discomfort, both in the shoulder and then also in the wrist and the forearm. So I wanted to give you a couple of tips here. So the first thing that we've heard from a few people is that, if the steering wheel is really close to them, like this one is, when I go to reach for this Maxi brake, I'm going to kind of get blocked by the steering wheel. So what you want to make sure that you do is you set the steering wheel up at the correct height. Okay, so it should be down about elbow height so that your elbow's at a 90-degree angle here, and you can steer with your palms up to the ceiling, and then you can do that shuffle steer that you've learned in training. Okay, and this is going to allow you to kind of use your core muscles to engage and reach that brake a little bit easier. So if I'm going to apply this brake, I'm going to engage, I'm going to lift up out of the seat with my core. Okay, I'm going to lean forward, and now that brake is in a nice and easy position for me to reach. When I go to push it down or push to release it, I want to get that elbow nice and high so I have kind of body weight coming down onto that wrist instead of it just coming from my palm or my wrist joint. Okay, so I'm going to lean forward, I'm going to kind of reach, and then I'm going to push down using my whole hand and kind of letting my body weight do a lot of that work for me. And then when I go to apply the brake, what I've seen from a lot of people is that they do kind of like that claw grip with their palm down towards the floor. What you want to actually do is either flip it so that your palm is up towards the ceiling, or in a cup holding position with your thumb up to the ceiling that way. So you either want to come in and turn your hand over and pull, or you want to have that thumb up and pull that way if you can. I think in this particular instance, because that Maxi brake is kind of short, there isn't really a lot of room to get your whole hand underneath there. It makes the most sense to flip your palm up towards the ceiling. I was saying about that hand posture, this might be a little bit clearer than kind of viewing it from far away, is instead of doing it with your palm down like this and then pulling up on the brake, what you want to do instead is flip your hand so that your palm is underneath, and then this way you can use kind of your whole arm to lift it instead of just your wrist extension muscles. So you want to kind of flip your hand underneath and pull up here, and then when you come to release the brake, you want to get your whole hand flat on there instead of just using a couple of fingers, because it is kind of a lot of force needed. And then you can kind of lean onto that and use your body weight to help push that button to release it. All right, so now that we've gone over the proper technique of both applying and releasing the Maxi brake, I also wanted to show you a few stretches that you can do that will help relieve any discomfort that you've been having. So the first one that I recommend is just doing a wrist extension stretch. So you're going to kind of bend that wrist all the way back, straighten that arm out, kind of pull back on that finger with the opposite hand. Should be nice and gentle, there shouldn't be any pain here. And we're going to hold that for about 20 seconds. This is one you can do on your stops. You can kind of put both arms up on the steering wheel and stretch your hand that way. The next one we're going to do is a wrist extension or a wrist flexion stretch. So just the opposite, you're going to pull that hand down, and then you might need to bend that elbow in a little bit to feel the stretch in the back of the forearm here. I'd also recommend doing like a thumb stretch. So you're going to kind of reach behind your hand with your opposite hand. You're going to grab that thumb and just pull back on that thumb like so. Same thing, if you need a little better stretch, you can extend that arm out, and that should help you get a little better stretch. You should feel it kind of in that thumb muscle here, and then also up into the forearms. And then the last big one that I'd recommend that I've heard, people are having some shoulder discomfort, is a doorway stretch. So you're going to want to put that elbow just a little bit higher than your shoulder height. You're going to put one foot in front of the other, and then real nice and gentle, you're just going to lean through, and you should feel a stretch in the front of that shoulder there. Same thing, nice and comfortable, no pain. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, let us know.